going to collect a couple of choice samples and we're going to send them off to Walt from 1 Min Micro, and he's going to let us know just how heavenly this Tasmanian moss is for tardigrades.
If you watched Sid's video, you would have seen this. A water bear. And this is their environment. Moss. This moss looks amazing. To find water bears, I usually start off with my stereo microscope. I couldn't immediately see anything. So I added a bit of water and I decided to jump on over to my biological microscope. This will just give us a real close-up of the moss to make sure that we haven't missed anything. The plant cells look amazing. No water bears unfortunately, but as Sid mentioned, this is premium moss and I was able to feed it to my water bears. Thanks, Sid.
Last time I made chocolate from a cacao fruit, a lot of people asked if it's possible to add anything to the chocolate mix. So that's what I'm doing here. I started out by fermenting the seeds for a week, then roasting them until they smelled like brownies. The roasted beans can then be cracked and peeled to remove the cacao nibs inside, which is what we use to make chocolate. I blended it with powdered sugar, then added cacao butter and peppermint oil until it looked like melted chocolate. And then it was time for the toppings. I used crushed peppermint because I love mint and chocolate together. Plus, I had so much leftover peppermint from the holidays. When the chocolate was set, I had to see if it passed the snap test. So good.
All right, guys, here's some dryer vent facts. As of 2018, 2,900 clothes dryer fires are reported each year in the U.S. These fires cause an estimated 5 deaths, 100 injuries, and $35 million in property damages annually. 34% of dryer fires are a result of failure to clean. 28% of the time, dust, fiber, and lint are the first to ignite. So what they're saying is, guys, get your dryers cleaned, because this stuff that you're seeing shooting out like that, those are one of the factors that causes the fire. Fibers, dust, lint, all that stuff factor in, which can cause a house fire. So get your vents cleaned out either once or twice a year to prevent your house from burning down in flames. And if you guys want to do some more research, look up Saylor Johnson, Sayllr Johnson in Kansas City. She actually passed away from a dryer fire and she was only 18. And that's one of many people who passed away. Get yours done.
You probably wouldn't eat what I'm about to show you. And it's not because it's a caterpillar. It's because it looks and behaves like a stick. This caterpillar has a number of defense mechanisms. The first that is shown here is a silk tether between the branch and its mouth. If threatened, the caterpillar can jump and swing to safety on a nearby branch. But this is not its primary defense. Rather, this caterpillar is a master of illusion. The caterpillar will escape the threat by crawling to a safer space. Once the threat is gone, the caterpillar will act and behave like a stick. It tells animals that there is no nutritional value in it whatsoever. After all, it's nothing more than a stick.
Here we see a pillar. Now some people see a hollow column, others see it with a pyramid on the top. A few people, and only a few, can flick between them. Could you let me know in the comments what you see, please? Is it hollow? Does it have a pyramid on the top? Or can you flick between them? I'd really appreciate your help. And follow for more. Thank you.
I'm placing you both under arrest, so tell me what happened.
No, I invoke the fifth.
Yeah, I invoked the fifth too.
Fine.
It wasn't our fault though. The door was unlocked. Dude. I thought I was allowed to take as many as I wanted.
Dude!
What? I'm
Just admitting you robbed a donut shop?
What? No, I invoked the fifth.
Which does nothing if you keep talking, and you did.
But aren't you tampering with evidence?
How about we just say none of this happened?
That's an absolute flex to a niche group, but means nothing to the majority.
A lot of y'all be asking why I got all these talents. It's really because I ain't human. That's why I was made out of memory foam, man. The more you know.
Did you know that you could grow your own mushrooms, no matter where you live or the space available?
This right here is a salivary stone, which is just a hardened mineral deposit in the salivary gland. These can be painful, and when they're small, lemon drops can help expel them. But when they get to be this size, they need to be removed.
So I've been walking on all fours for over 7 months now, and here's what my triceps look like. What's cool is that I continue to see improvements, even though I haven't really lifted weights this entire time. I enjoy lifting and don't have anything against it, but I love to showcase that there are many paths to progress. Now, go get some XP.
Okay, so Larkin has 4 Pringle jalapeno sandwiches, and I just spilled his milk. And it's dill pickle chips, and he's going to try to eat them all in 10 seconds.
But if I fail, I'm still going to eat them all.
Ready, go! There's still some jalapenos on the plate. You gotta eat those.
Gì làm làm? Hold it do.
The Chinese, December 3rd, 2021, said that they found something on the moon called the Mystery Hut. Let me show you what it looks like. Far in the distance, as you see here, the Jade Rabbit, or the rover, spotted this when it took its camera and put it up and took a look around. They didn't know what it was. It has 90-degree angles, and they thought perhaps, and this is what the Chinese said, they said that they thought it was some sort of alien craft that was like crash-landed or left over. Interesting, but let me show you another photo of it closer. Obviously, when they blew it up, they still couldn't tell what it was, but it certainly didn't look like a rock. Well, they sent it off there, and basically 33 days later, here's the photo that they beamed back to planet Earth. Quite honestly, I was hoping for something more, but it just ended up being a rock. You know, the Chinese are doing some good work up there, and as they map and remap and explore the moon, especially on the dark side, who knows what we'll find. And when we do, you'll be the first to know.
Is there anything else that might have done this? Could it have been a propeller strike, for instance?
No, we looked at it from a number of different perspectives, and you can actually see some small teeth rake marks around it. The interesting thing about it as well is that that bite, to me, doesn't look like it represents the full diameter of the shark's jaws.
You're saying that's potentially just the front of the jaw, a massive shark's jaw.
Is it worth $200?
Nice.
So I've seen a lot of weird shit working at a gym for 3 years, but this one, just watch. So this dude just walks in holding a crab. He puts the crab on the table and tries desperately to convince us it's alive. He even grabs my water in further attempt to convince me, pours it on the crab, expecting it to do something, and immediately realizes it's not alive. He then takes the crab and licks the water and proceeds to walk out calmly with a grunt. And I don't know what, I don't know why, or I don't know.
Today we're making some bubble shrimp, and it's so easy. That is insanely good. We're gonna mix together 2/3 cup of cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of flour, half a teaspoon of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of water, half a cup of cooking oil, and 3 egg whites. Now we're gonna fry these until they bubble up and turn golden brown. And there you have it, some bubble shrimp.
You might see this and think it's a worm, but if you take a closer look, you'd realize they are thousands and thousands of baby sea slugs. We'll come back to this, but first, let's talk about sea slug reproduction. There are over 2,000 different species of sea slug. Some are tiny, many have crazy colors, and some can even swim, like this hooded nudibranch. However, they are all hermaphroditic, meaning they have both male and female reproductive organs. Sea slugs are pretty slow, so when they do find another individual of the same species, they will fertilize each other so both can go off and lay eggs. If you ever see two sea slugs together like this, they are probably mating. Once the sea slug is fertilized, they can lay eggs. This is a sea lemon actively laying eggs, and they're often in the shape of a ribbon. Now back to those eggs we saw in the beginning. I'm not sure what species they belong to, but with the help of a microscope, we can see they are almost completely developed. At this stage, they are called veligers, and there are hundreds of thousands of them. There are so many because they will hatch into plankton, and only a very small percentage of them will survive predation and rough conditions. You can kind of make out their tiny shells, which they will lose once they go through metamorphosis. At this point, they'll settle and start growing into mature slugs.
This is how we dispose your car oil after an oil change.
It's pretty damn simple anyway, man. All I do is stick it in there. Then you just leave. Down the road.
Oh,